Everybody has their guys in fantasy football, but over time, for whatever reason, good players get written off. Maybe they've underperformed, maybe they've got competition for touches now, or maybe they even cost you a fantasy championship once upon a time. No matter where the bias comes from, though, here is one player that I am not avoiding at cost in 2022. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am, of course, Nate Liss, and for those of you checking out my page for the very first time, congratulations, because you just made a tremendous decision. Just cut that part out. But something new that I want to share with the viewers of this channel are my growth week to week. I feel like many of you have joined me on this journey, and your constant support, whether private, in the video comments, or even at the Discord server, means a lot. So as a smaller channel with the goals of one day being one of the big boys, I want to show you guys what sort of impact hitting the subscribe button means to this very channel. So as I am recording this very video, we are officially sitting at 1,945 subscribers, and getting to 2,000 is the next big landmark for me. So if you find any value in what you see today, or have been enjoying the previous content and still haven't hit that subscribe button, then there has never been a better time than right now to join the party and help me reach that next big goal. Okay, now that the PBS subscriber telethon is over, let's talk about a player that most fantasy gamers are ignoring, but you probably shouldn't be. What I did this week was look for players outside the top 100 in redraft that I am expecting to outperform their ADP, as well as hold their long-term dynasty value. Now, usually when we see a player who's outside the consensus top 100 in redraft, that means that they are also a dynasty asset that is outside the top 30 in their given position. These are the types of players that obviously come at a significant discount from their peers and are ideal fits for contending rosters looking to compete today and into the future, as well as younger rebuilding rosters that might be chock full of draft capital or other assets that they can easily liquidate and move. But enough banter. So let's dive right into a name that should deliver in 2022 and beyond. Christian Kirk. The guy did nothing wrong. For years, we hoped Kirk was going to evolve into this fantasy football juggernaut, but after 4 seasons in Arizona, not so surprisingly, he got burned.
You're cooking in a burnt pan, you fucking dick!
With 0 season-long fantasy finishes better than that of the wide receiver 30, it's understandable that fantasy gamers have become skittish about taking the plunge again in 2022, especially in Jacksonville. I mean, on what planet is going from Kyler Murray to Trevor Lawrence a good thing? Well, space is infinite, but the answer is still no planet. But the version of Christian Kirk that we saw last year was the most dynamic version yet. While running a career-high slot rate of 49%, Kirk actually did some other things that are even more impressive. In fact, he finished number 12 in total route wins, number 10 in fantasy points per target versus man coverage, number 15 in deep targets, number 26 in air yards, and number 22 in target separation. But 2 other factors are in play while in Jacksonville that just were not in Arizona. Number 1, Kirk is officially at the top of the pecking order. Never in his career has he been the guy. But in Jacksonville, there's just no doubt about who the star of this passing game should be. After signing a massive contract this offseason, Kirk not only got paid handsomely, but he also did so while landing on perhaps the softest depth chart in the entire NFL. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. Look at the options in the Jaguars passing game. Zay Jones, Marvin Jones, Laquan Treadwell, Laviska Shenault. I haven't seen a less talented group of people in one room since I stopped watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Because you're so annoying. Perfect, then shut up. Nobody.
And with Trevor Lawrence ranking inside the top 7 in pass attempts last season, you know the volume should be there once again. I mean, this was a team that combined to give 220 targets to Marvin Jones and Laviska Shenault in 2021. So realistically, I'd be surprised if Kirk doesn't see somewhere between 7 and 9 targets a game, which would translate to roughly 125 to 140 season-long targets, a number that would have landed him inside the top 15 in season-long total targets last year. And it isn't hard to imagine how he gets there. Step 1, sign a huge contract. Step 2, go to a paper-thin depth chart. But then there's step 3, game script. Because last season, Jacksonville ranked number 8 in the league in pace of play and trailed on 75% of their drives. Let me repeat that again. In 2021, on 3/4 of their possessions in the NFL, the Jacksonville Jaguars were trailing to literally everyone. And what I'm about to say is going to feel like Groundhog's Day, but I'm gonna say it anyways. The Jacksonville Jaguars have one of the league's easiest schedules in 2022. This was a statement that was literally made in 2021, just prior to this team going 3-14 on the season. So what does this all mean? It means the Jaguars will continuously be playing from behind, and Trevor Lawrence will once again crack the top 10 in pass attempts, and as stated in the past, follow the money.
Show me the money!
Because Christian Kirk is being paid like an alpha while being surrounded by literally none of them. Yet it appears the market disagrees with me. Just look at the underdog ADP graph. Kirk is currently viewed as the wide receiver 42 in best ball formats. I mean, do you guys even understand how easy it is, given his situation, to absolutely roast this valuation? Well, if not, let me break it down for you. While looking at a range, last year's wide receiver 40 through the wide receiver 45 averaged 88 targets on the season and just 9.3 fantasy points per game. Folks, Christian Kirk for his entire career has already averaged more fantasy points per game than that mark. For 4 seasons while playing second fiddle and third fiddle, he outscored the worldwide box redraft players have put him inside of. And it doesn't just stop with redraft, because when fantasy gamers fade someone in the preseason, it spills over into Dynasty like a clogged toilet.
Oh God, I beg you, please. If you make this water go down, I will sit at your feet and I will serve you for all of eternity.
You just cannot make this up, people. Christian Kirk, who's been excellent on scale throughout his entire career, just got paid one of the offseason's most lucrative contracts, has zero competition for targets around him, and just joined a roster with a generational talent at quarterback who could float near the very top of the league in pass attempts, and is viewed as the wide receiver 49 and has a value equal to a mid-2022 second-round rookie pick. No. So let's run an exercise, okay? Christian Kirk or Jalen Tolbert? Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk or Isaiah Spiller? Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk or Dameon Pierce? Christian Kirk. People will walk over hot coals just for the privilege of selecting a 4th-round selected NFL running back on a team that already has an elite weapon at that very position.
Keep coming.
Give me the jump! Give me the jump!
But even beyond that are Kirk's current value adjacent options on Keep Trade Cut. Kadarius Toney, Tyler Lockett, David Bell, Russell Gage? Won't fire too old Cleveland Browns Chris Godwin. But there is still time. You can still join me in the Church of Christian. I mean, in the Church of Kirk. Every Sunday for service while we watch him obliterate his current Dynasty ADP together as he morphs himself into Stephon Diggs light during the new prime of his career. I hope to see you there. What's up, guys? Once again, thank you so much for checking out the video. Drop a comment below. If you disagree with me, if you prefer Isaiah Spiller to Christian Kirk, say it down below. Say it, don't spray it. And guys, as I mentioned before, every subscription that I get to this channel, I truly appreciate. I love the growing audience. I love producing content. I love interacting with you guys. So feel free to always respond. I will get back to you and help me make this number grow. Because again, it's nice being in the pond at all, but my goals of being one of the bigger fishes in the pond is an uphill climb, and I'm working hard to get there. And every time you guys hit that subscribe button, it is a huge, huge help. And on top of that, I say it every week, go join the Discord group. I'm in it. I'm always available. Over 650 members in that group, totally active. It's totally free. Come join it and you'll get an entirely different perspective on fantasy football with an active group of sharp members, because I would argue that there is not a better Discord to join.